In the years after his brother died, Gaius said nothing in public. He was learning. 133 BC. Sardinia. This is Roman Knights. We go back. We listen. We stay a while. He is 20 years old. He is a long way from Rome. The message arrives by ship. Chapter 1. The message. Sardinia. Summer. The island smells of dry grass and the sea. The particular dust of a place inhabited since before anyone can remember. Not the old stone smell of Rome. Something older. Drier. The dust here has a different quality. It settles on everything and does not move unless the wind from the sea decides to move it. Gaius has been here 2 years. He knows this smell now the way you know a smell when it is no longer interesting. When it has moved from the front of the mind to the back. When it simply is. The work of a military tribune in peacetime is numbers, supply accounts, grain tallies, letters to Rome about letters from Rome. The machinery of keeping an army fed and equipped and paid. In a place where the campaign has not yet produced anything interesting. He is good at the numbers. He is faster than most men at the numbers. He always has been. Tiberius was more careful. Gaius is faster. He has thought about this difference many times in 2 years. He has decided both approaches are correct for the person using them. Tiberius was precise because precision was his mind's natural state. Gaius is fast because his mind moves in a direction. It wants the ground under it to move at the same speed. Neither is better. They cover different ground. He is at the accounts when he hears the harbor. A ship. He can tell from the sound when a ship has come in. The particular combination of commands and ropes and the crowd that forms around any new arrival. Not his problem. He is working. Then a man walks up the road from the dock. He has a certain walk. Not the walk of a man with messages. The walk of a man who does not want to arrive at where he is going. Gaius sets down the pen. He reads the letter standing up. He has done this since he was 12 years old. He does not sit down when something matters. His mother used to watch him read, standing in the room and not say anything. He did not know she was watching. He knows now looking back that she was. He reads the letter once. His eyes move faster than a person watching would expect. He has always read this way. It is not carelessness. It is that his mind takes in the shape of a page before it takes in the individual words. He knows what the letter says before he finishes it. He reads it again, this time more slowly. The words specifically. The handwriting is his mother's. She writes the way she speaks, plainly, in order, without extra. He folds the letter. He folds it carefully. He has always been careful with paper. Tiberius lost things. Gaius does not lose things. He puts the letter in the inside of his tunic against his chest. He goes outside. The harbor is doing what harbors do. Loading and unloading. Men calling across the water. The smell of rope and fish and salt. The particular heat of a Sardinian afternoon when the wind has not decided yet. He stands at the edge of the dock. He stands there for a long time. He is not looking at anything specific. He is looking at the water the way people look at something that is moving when they are not. His second in command comes out. He stands nearby. He does not speak. He has learned in 2 years when to speak and when not. After a while Gaius says, "We finish our service here. Then we go home." His second in command says, "Yes." Gaius goes back inside. He does not tell anyone what the letter said. He does not need. News from Rome travels on every ship. They have all known. 4 days. They are watching to see what he will do. He does the accounts. He does them carefully. He checks each number twice. He's faster than usual. He wants to be done. 6 weeks later. His service ends in autumn. The ship home takes 12 days. The sea is rough for the first 3. He stands at the front of the ship. He does not get sick. He watches the water. He is not thinking about anything in particular. He has been practicing this. The ability to not think about anything in particular when thinking has no more to contribute. He decided to practice it the day after the letter arrived. He noticed that he kept returning to the same set of thoughts, turning them in different directions, arriving at the same place. This was not productive. He filed the thoughts where he could reach them later and stop turning them. He has been in this mode for 6 weeks. He does not know yet how useful it will be. Rome appears first as a smell, smoke in the river, then as a line. Then it is there, gray and large and making its sounds, even from the water. He is 22 years old. He is going home. The Forum is the same. He walks through it the first morning back. Some of the faces are the same. Some are not. The Forum replaces itself over 2 years in the way the Forum always has. New men in old positions. Old men in new arguments. Some of them look at him longer than necessary. He knows what they are checking. They are checking whether he is going to do something, whether he is going to be something, whether the name Gracchus is going to mean what it meant before, or something else. He does not say anything in public. He has made this decision, not for strategy. He is not ready. He knows when he is ready and when he is not. This is one of the few things he knows with full certainty about himself. He is not ready. He goes home. He has Tiberius's papers, the commission files, the original law in 3 drafts, the amendments, the letters from Appius before he died, the numbers from the Etrurian surveys, the correspondence with Scaevola, about the legal definitions. He reads all of it. He reads it the way his brother read it, from the beginning, with a pen, not quickly. He marks what is clear. He marks what is less clear. He marks the places where the argument is thin. Tiberius wrote in the margins. Small notes. Questions he was still asking. One note says, what if the holder has improved the land? It is followed by a question mark. No answer. Gaius writes the answer next to it, in a different color. The answer is, distinguish between the improvement and the land. Pay for the improvement. Take back the land. He continues through the papers. He fills in other margins. Most of them Tiberius had left open on purpose. Gaius can tell the difference between an open question and an unanswered one. These are the open kind. His brother knew they were open. He was still working. He was 30 when he stopped working. Gaius finishes the papers in 2 weeks. He puts them away. He goes to bed. He lies in the dark for a long time. He thinks he was right about everything. He thinks, that is, not the same as having enough. Chapter 2, The Quiet Years. BC 131. The commission is still working. Appius is dead. Crassus is running it. The surveyors are in Etruria, walking the old boundary lines with new ropes. The work is slower without Appius. Appius had a way of moving the Senate when the Senate needed to be moved. Crassus is more accurate and less persuasive. The commission continues anyway. The law is still law. Gaius watches this. He watches the Forum in the mornings. He watches which men the Senate sends to ask questions about the commission's work. He notes the names. Rome is watching him. He knows this. He can tell the particular quality of attention a room gives a man it expects to do something. He walks through the Forum and the attention is there. He goes to dinner and the attention is there. He attends every public meeting he can. He says nothing at any of them. He is not ready. He has said this to himself many times. He will know it when he is. November. BC 131. The Forum before the merchants arrive. He walks through it early. One circuit. The only people at that hour are the ones with nowhere else to be. He observes them. He has always observed them. He has observed them since Tiberius was alive and he was the younger one following along. He and Tiberius observed the same Forum and came to different conclusions about it. He has figured this out reading the papers. Tiberius saw the land and the law and the arithmetic. Gaius sees the people and what they need and what they are willing to do without. These are not opposite things. They are the same thing from different angles. Tiberius had the law. Gaius has the people. You need both. He puts this in his notes. His mother has dinner with him on Thursdays. She has done this since his service ended. She does not ask what he is planning. She talks about other things. The garden. The state of the roads. A letter from a friend in Capua. He listens. She is watching him the same way the forum is watching him. She is just better at not showing it. One Thursday she says, "Your brother always started with the numbers. He had them before he had the argument." He says, "I know. I'm starting with the numbers." She nods. She talks about the garden. That is the whole conversation. He thinks about it for 3 days. What she said and what she did not say. She said, "Your brother started with the numbers." She did not say, "and then he ran out of other things." She never says the thing she does not say. He is very good at hearing it anyway. A meeting in autumn. Someone across the table says his brother's name. Gaius stops moving for about 2 seconds. He does not stop talking. He does not look at the person who said it. His body simply stops while his voice continues. Then he continues. The room notices. He knows the room noticed. He cannot stop doing this. Tiberius is in every room he enters. He does not try to change this. He has accepted it. His brother is not a ghost. He is a specific gravity in every room. Gaius moves around it the way people move around furniture. Furniture in a house so long it is part of the house. He will always do this. He has stopped trying to stop. The Senate has not formally done anything about the commission. This is a choice. Doing nothing and choosing to do nothing are different things. The Senate is choosing to do nothing. It is watching the commission work and staying quiet about it. The same kind of quiet it was in during Tiberius's 4 months. The commission distributes land. Families move onto plots. The Etrurian boundary markers hold. Scipio Aemilianus watches and does not like what he sees. He is the most respected man in Rome. He fought at Carthage. He made the decision that ended the city. He does not need to say things in public. When he says them in private they become public on their own. He says, the commission is overreaching. He says specific things about specific instances. He has done his research. He is not wrong about the instances. He is wrong about the conclusion. He says this in the winter of BC 130. He says it more in the spring. BC 130, summer. 2 years back from Sardinia. Gaius has attended every public meeting that allows him to attend. He has said nothing. He has a document now written in his own hand. It is not a law. It is a description of what he has seen, what works, what does not, where the arguments are thin, where the Senate will push. He reads it over every few weeks. He adds to it. One evening he shows it to Cornelia. She reads it standing up. This is something she does not do often. He watches her read. She turns the last page. She reads the first page again. She hands it back. She says, "Your father would have recognized this." He says, "What is it?" She says, "A map. You are making a map before you make the road." He thinks about this for a long time. He goes back to the document. He adds 2 things. He thinks about what his mother said. A map before the road. He has been making maps his whole life. He made maps in his head of the Sardinian supply routes. He made maps of the legal challenges to the commission. He makes maps of the tribes and their positions and their connections. A map is not a plan. A plan tells you what to do. A map tells you where you are and where everything else is. He has been building maps for 9 years. He thinks about his father. His father was a senator, a capable senator, a man who served Rome in multiple provinces, a man who did the work without asking for credit. He had died before Gaius was old enough to talk to him as an adult. He thinks about what his father would have said about what he is building. He thinks his father would have said, "You are doing too much." He thinks his father would have been right. He is planning too much. He knows this. He is planning everything. Every law. Every sequence. Every response to every objection. Tiberius planned 1 thing. Gaius is planning 12. He thinks, the difference is that I have had 9 years to plan. Tiberius had 6 months. He thinks, I need to trust the 9 years. He goes back to the document. He removes 2 things he had added. The map does not need every road. It needs the roads in the right order. He goes back to the document. He adds 2 things. Chapter 3, after Scipio. BC 129. March. Gaius is at the market when a man tells him. He stops walking. He stands in the middle of the market. People move around him. He is not moving, so they move around him. Scipio Aemilianus is dead. Found this morning. His bed. No sign of illness. No violence. That anyone could confirm. He was 56 years old and in full health the night before. He had been working on his speech against the commission. He went to sleep. He did not wake up. Gaius stands in the market for a moment. He thinks about his sister Sempronia, who was Scipio's wife. He thinks about what her mourning has been. He does not know where she is. He walks home. He writes a note to Sempronia. He uses her name. Once at the end where it will do work. He sends it. Then he sits down and thinks about what Scipio Aemilianus represented to the commission. He separates these 2 things. The man and the obstacle. He does not do this without noticing he is doing it. He does it. Anyway, there is work. Scipio Aemilianus was the most respected man in Rome. He ended Carthage. He had limited the commission's reach through legitimate means. He found the places in the law where the law was unclear. He used them correctly. He was going to finish his argument against the commission in the spring. He did not finish it. The Senate investigates the death. Cautiously. No one is charged. No one is named. The city has opinions. The city always has opinions when a powerful man dies in the night without a visible cause. Opinions are not evidence. His name stops appearing in Senate sessions within the month. This is not an accident. This is how Rome handles things it cannot explain. It stops trying to explain. It moves on to the next item. Rome will do this with Tiberius's name and with Gaius's name. 10 years from now. The city is consistent. 2 months after Scipio Aemilianus dies, the Senate passes a measure. The commission may no longer act as a court. May survey land. It may distribute land. It may not settle disputes between citizens about who owns that land. Those disputes now go to the consuls. The consuls change every year. The Senate has opinions about who becomes consul. This is what it looks like when you win and then lose. Not at once. Slowly. The law is still there. The commission is still working. But the thing that made it work has been quietly moved. Gaius reads about this in the commission's own records. He sits with the papers for a long time. He is not surprised. This is important. He has not been surprised since before Sardinia. He expected this specific move. He knew which part of the commission's power was most vulnerable, and he knew the Senate would eventually find it. He opens a new document. He starts writing. Not a law. Not yet. Questions. What would need to be different? What the first law missed? What Tiberius would have built with a second year? The land is not the problem. The land is one answer to one part of the problem. The problem is that the men who lost the land lost more than the land. They lost the position that gave them standing. No property means no military service. No military service means no standing. No standing means no tribunate that will protect them. Tiberius tried to solve the land problem. The land problem is connected to the other problems. You cannot solve one without touching the others. His brother knew this. He knew it the way a man knows something he has not yet said. It is there in the margins. In the questions he was still asking. Gaius writes this down. He looks at it. He writes it a different way. He looks at that. He thinks, in 10 years someone will write this same thing about me. He is 24 years old. He already knows this. He thinks about what that means and then he files it. He has too much work. He writes until the lamp runs low. He closes the document. He goes to bed. He opens the document the next morning and adds 3 things. The commission continues. Without judicial power it is slower. Disputes pile up. Some are resolved. Many are not. Some of the men who received their 30 iudura find their ownership contested. They wait for someone to settle it. They wait a long time. Gaius adds this to the notes. One of the men waiting is a farmer he met on the road from Etruria 3 years ago before Sardinia. He does not know this specifically. You will find out later. He will add it to the notes then. He is 24 years old and he has not spoken in public since he returned from Sardinia. The forum is still watching. He is still not ready. He goes home. He opens the new document. He writes the questions. Not laws. Questions. He has been doing this for 2 months. Since Scipio died. Since the commission's jurisdiction was taken away. He writes questions because the questions are what he does not yet have answers to. Question. If the land law is insufficient, what else is needed? Answer. A grain supply that does not depend on private markets. Question. If the grain law requires treasury money, where does that money come from? Answer. The provinces. The provinces send tribute. He has looked at the tribute flows. There is enough. Question. If the courts are controlled by the Senate, how does any new law get enforced? Answer. Change the courts. Remove criminal jurisdiction from the senators. Move it to a different group. The equestrians. The business class. They have different interests from the Senate. Different interests create accountability. He writes these questions. He writes the answers. He has been thinking about the answers for 2 years. He thinks, these are not 3 laws. These are 1 law in 3 parts. They hold each other up. Remove one and the others weaken. He thinks, Tiberius had 1 law. I have 1 law in 3 parts. They are not the same thing. He thinks, in 10 years someone will look at what I built and say this was insufficient. They will be right. Every reform is insufficient. He thinks, I am 24. He files the questions. He goes back to the document. He adds 2 things. He is 24 years old and he has not spoken in public since he returned from Sardinia. The forum is still watching. He is still not ready. Chapter 4, Sardinia Again. BC 126. He leaves for Sardinia a second time. Quaestor this time. Financial officer under the consul Lucius. Aurelius Orestes. The grain, the pay, the equipment. The numbers that keep an army in the field. He is 27 years old. He is going back to an island that smells of dry grass and the sea. He is not unhappy about this. He has a reason for going. He noticed something the first time. The soldiers were not being paid on time. The campaign went longer than planned. The Senate had not sent the additional funding. The men were eating less than the ration stated they would eat. He had been a military tribune then. He had no authority over the pay or the supply. He noted it and filed it and went back to his accounts. This time he is the quaestor. The authority is his. The army is short on grain. The supply ships from Sicily are behind schedule. The men know. Men always know before anyone. Files a report about it. He goes to the allied Sardinian cities. He goes in person. Not a letter. Not a messenger. He takes a horse and goes to 3 cities in 2 weeks. He argues in person. He moves when he argues. He has always done this. He is not aware of it while he is doing it. He is concentrating on the argument and his body goes where the argument goes. The men he is arguing with have to follow him with their eyes. The first city says yes after an hour. The second city takes a morning. The third city has a magistrate who is not sure why he should provide supplies for Roman soldiers. Gaius argues with him for 3 hours. He moves around the room for 3 hours. He covers the floor. He names numbers. He names precedents. He names the alternatives. He is not angry. He sounds calm. He is always angry. He has learned to sound calm. He figured this out in the 2nd year of his first service here in a room arguing about grain accounts. The calm voice carries further. The calm voice is more useful. The magistrate provides the supplies. After he leaves, the magistrate writes about the conversation. He says, I felt I had agreed to something I meant to refuse. I cannot identify the exact moment. He says this is the most effective man I have spoken with in 20 years. The soldiers are fed. The allies remember his name. The governor is irritated. Gaius does not care that the governor is irritated. He notes this about himself. He files it. He has known since Sardinia the first time that he does not care whether authority is irritated. He cares whether the thing is right. These are different categories for some people. They are the same category for him. He also notices something else the second time in Sardinia. He is less interested in being right and more interested in what happens the morning after he is right. He has always been right. Tiberius was right. Being right is not the hard part. The hard part is what you do next. He is figuring out the next. BC 124. 2 years later. The consul wants to extend the campaign. He sends word to Rome, requesting an extension. He wants his army and his questor, and the supply system that has been running correctly. Gaius reads the request. He thinks about it for one day. He goes to the governor. He says, "My service is complete. I will be returning to Rome." The governor says, "That is not your decision." Gaius says, "My service period under the law is complete. I will be returning to Rome." He goes to the harbor. He finds the next ship. He is on it. 12 days. The sea is calm this time. He stands at the front of the ship and watches the water. He thinks about the first crossing. 22 years old. The sea rough. Standing at the front. Not thinking about anything. In particular because there was nothing useful to think about. He is thinking now. He has a law that is close to finished. Not a single law. A set of laws. A system. He has been building it in the notes for years. The land. The grain. The courts. The road construction. That would employ men who have no land. The military service. Requirements. The tribunate's protection. Each piece connects to the others. This is different from what Tiberius built. Tiberius had a solution. He had the right solution. Did not connect to the other solutions. Gaius has a system. A system can absorb a veto because it has 5 other parts. A system can survive the death of one tribune because the laws are already in motion. A system requires more work to undo than a single law. Rome appears first as a smell, then as a line, then it is there. He is 29 years old. He is ready. He is ready in a different way than he was 10 years ago. He is ready in the specific way of a man who has done everything that could be done before the thing. He cannot think of anything. He has not prepared. He knows this is not the same as certainty. He goes anyway. Chapter 5. The Capitoline Hill Again. Rome. BC 124. The morning after arrival. He is charged by the censors with abandoning his post. He expected this. He showed up to the hearing before anyone. Sent a second notice. He arrives before the judges. He is already standing when they come in. This is the kind of thing people notice and describe later. He speaks in his own defense. He does not sit down. He has not sat down in a hearing since. He first appeared before a commission at 20 years old. He moves when he speaks. He does not know he is doing it. He does not talk about the Sardinian campaign. He talks about the soldiers who were not paid. He talks about the grain that did not arrive on schedule. He talks about the allied cities that were asked to contribute beyond what the agreements required. He names specific amounts. He has been carrying these numbers for 2 years. He does not need to check them. By the end of the morning, the governor of Sardinia is under investigation. Gaius is free to go. He walks out of the hearing room. He stands in the street. He has just turned a trial about his own conduct into an action against someone else. He did this in one morning with numbers and movement and the kind of anger that sounds like calm. He has been practicing this for 9 years. He is ready. That is the thing he needed to establish first. Before anything else. Before the laws. Before the candidacy. He needed to show what he could do in a room when the room gave him a reason. He goes home. He opens his notes. He starts writing the law. 3 weeks after the hearing, he announces his candidacy. Tribune of the people. BC 123. He makes the announcement in the forum. Not from the rostra. From the ground level. He stands where people stand. He says what he is running for. He says it once. He stops. The forum goes quiet. Not hostile quiet. Not careful quiet. Something different. The quiet of a place that has been waiting for a specific door. That has just heard the handle turn. His name. In public. For the first time in 9 years. The men who supported Tiberius are still alive. Most of them. Older. Some of them have been waiting for this specific moment. They recognize the name. They voted for the name before. They know what a Gracchus running for tribune has cost before. They vote for him anyway. The Senate has opinions. They are keeping them to themselves. For now. They are watching. This is what they do. They are very good at waiting. So has he been. He goes to the Capitoline Hill that afternoon. He has not been here since he first returned from Sardinia. He has walked past it. He has looked at it. He has not gone up. He goes up now. The afternoon light is on the temple. The city below is doing so ordinary things. The forum. The rooftops. The river where it shows between the hills. He counts the exits. He has been doing this since he heard what happened here 9 years ago. 3 exits. 2 lower paths. 1 narrow passage. Behind the temple. He has counted them in his head every time. He thought about this hill. He counts them in person now. 3. Same as always. He stands on the hill and looks at where he thinks Tiberius stood. He does not know exactly where. The hill does not mark the places where things happened. The stones are the same stones. He is not here to stand where Tiberius stood. He is here to look at the city from this height. To understand what he is about to do to it. He looks at the forum below. He can see the Senate house from here. He can see the road that comes up from it. The road Scipio Aemilianus came up 9 years ago. With men who had chairs instead of swords. He has thought about this road many times. He knows every corner of it. He has read the accounts. He has talked to the men who were here that morning. He has walked the road from the Senate house to the Capitoline 6 times. Different seasons. Different lights. He knows how long it takes to walk it. He knows where it narrows. He knows the corners where it is slow. He has made a decision about that road. No one will come up it like that again. Not while he is standing here. Not because he will be standing in the way. Because the laws he is going to pass will make this impossible. No one standing at the top with no alternative. He is not his brother. His brother had a solution. One correct thing precisely done. He has a system. 5 connected things built to support each other. If one of them breaks, the others hold. He walks down. He has a law to finish writing. Actually 5 laws. He has been writing them in pieces for 4 years. He needs to put the pieces together. He knows the order now. He will write them in the correct order. So they can be read, voted on, and passed in sequence. The hill holds its cold behind him. The same cold as 9 years ago. The same stones. The same view of the city. Something is different. Yes. Chapter 6. No funeral. There was no funeral. This is the first thing. When a Roman dies, there is a funeral. This is the custom. It is older than most laws. The procession. The body. The family in black. The eulogy at the forum. The burial or the burning. The grave with the name. Tiberius had none of this. His body went into the Tiber. His friends asked for it. They were refused. The refusal was deliberate. A body you cannot bury is a grief you cannot complete. Cornelia knew this. She sat in her house on the Palatine and knew it. She had known it was possible. She had known since the spring. Since Tiberius came to her and told her about the second term. She had said be careful. He had said he would be. She had known. Knowing does not prepare you. She sat in her house and thought about what she was not allowed to do. She was not allowed to bury him. She was not allowed to stand at his grave. She was not allowed to give him the thing that Rome gives its dead. She had a system for this kind of thing. She had developed it over 40 years. Over the death of her husband. Over the deaths of her children. She has lost most of her children. 10 of 12. She keeps this number. She does not put it away. The system is, you hold what happened. You do not put it somewhere else. You do not make it smaller. You hold it at its actual size and you continue. She held the death of Tiberius at its actual size. She also held this: Gaius is alive. He is in Sardinia. He will come home. He received the letter. She knows this because she sent it. She wrote it the night of the day she heard. She had written it slowly. She had written the truth in the order it happened. She had not softened it. He read it standing up. She knows this. She does not know how she knows it. She knows it the way a mother knows things about her children that cannot be explained by information. He will come home. He will sit at the desk. He will do the work. She sits in her house and holds the size of what happened. The no funeral. The Tiber. The commission still working. She also holds the other thing. The thing she does not say out loud. She thinks, now it is Gaius. Not instead of Tiberius. After Tiberius. Different. She holds this too. She goes to her desk. She begins to write. This is how she processes what cannot be processed. She writes. She has been writing since she was a girl. She wrote to her father in the field. She wrote to her husband when he was in the provinces. She wrote to her sons. She wrote to men who sought her advice. She has been writing for 50 years. She writes. The lamp burns low. She does not tend it. She writes. She writes about Gaius. Not in the letter she is working on now. She writes about him in a separate document. One she does not send. One she keeps. She writes what she has observed. She has been observing Gaius since he was born. She has been observing all her children. She has lost 10 of 12. She has become very good at observation. Better than she would like to be. She writes, Gaius is not Tiberius. She writes, this is not obvious. She writes, most people who meet him see Tiberius. They see the name. They see the family. They see the commission. They see the same set of beliefs. She writes, they are missing what is different. She writes, Tiberius had certainty. She writes, Gaius has patience. These look the same from the outside. They are not the same. Certainty is a fixed thing. It does not adapt. It does not track. It knows where it is going and it goes there. Patience is active. It watches. It adjusts. It waits for the right moment and then it moves. She writes, I have been watching him wait. She has. For 9 years she has watched him wait. She has seen him come home from Sardinia and sit at the desk and read. She has seen him walk the forum every morning without speaking. She has seen him prepare the sequence of laws. She has seen him file things and come back to them. She writes, he will be ready when the time comes. She writes, I am afraid for him anyway. She writes this. She does not cross it out. She folds the document. She puts it in the drawer. Not to send. To hold. She goes back to the letter. She writes. The lamp burns low. She does not tend it. She writes. She writes about what Rome said after Tiberius died. She has been tracking this. The official story and the other story. The one the Senate tells and the one the Subura tells. The Senate story, Tiberius was reaching for a crown. What happened was necessary. The Subura story, they killed him and threw him in the river and the land commission kept working. Both stories are true in the way that stories are true. They describe the same event from different positions. The position you occupy determines what you see. She has been occupying her position for 60 years. She has been watching from it. She is the daughter of Africanus. She is the widow of Sempronius Gracchus. She is the mother of Tiberius Gracchus and Gaius Gracchus. She is a woman who sat at the center of Rome's political life for 50 years and watched. She has seen a great deal. She has seen good men make bad decisions. She has seen bad men make good ones. She has seen the Republic absorb things she thought would break it. She has seen it fail to absorb things she thought it could handle. She does not have a theory about the Republic. She has observations. She observes. The Republic is run by men who believe they are protecting it. She observes. The men who protect it most fiercely are often the ones who damage it most. She observes. This is not hypocrisy. This is a structural problem. When the thing you are protecting is the thing that constrains your power, protecting it requires giving up power. Most men cannot do this. She observes. Tiberius could not do this. She observes. Nausicaa could not do this. Both of them were protecting the Republic. Both of them broke it. She writes. She is not writing this for Gaius. She is writing it for herself. Processing. She writes. The lamp burns low. She tends it this time. She writes. Chapter 7. The Commission without him. BC 132. The Land Commission continued. This is the fact that the Senate did not want to be a fact. It wanted the commission to die with Tiberius. It wanted the law to die. It wanted the hill to have been sufficient. The hill was not sufficient. Appius Claudius was still on the commission. He came to the meetings. He unrolled the maps. He said the names of the districts. He assigned the surveyors. He decided the challenges. The third seat had been filled. 2 new members, Fulvius Flaccus and Papirius Carbo. Both were men who had supported Tiberius. Both were committed to the law. The commission had a legal structure. The legal structure did not depend on Tiberius. It depended on the law. The law was still the law. The Senate tried several things. They reduced the budget. The commission found other funding. The inheritance from Pergamon. Gaius had argued for this from Sardinia by letter. The argument worked. They challenged the commission's authority to decide legal disputes. The commission kept deciding them. The challenges were filed. The decisions were issued. They argued that the second term was the only illegal act. The land law itself was valid. They could not challenge the land law directly. Too many people had already benefited. Too many assignments had already been made. Too many families had already moved to new land. You cannot take back assigned land from families who have already built on it. Not without a fight. The Senate did not want that fight. Not in 132. So the commission worked. Slower than before. With less money. With more legal challenges. But it worked. The surveyors went to the districts. The measurements were taken. The assignments were made. BC 132. The Land Commission met. The third seat was filled. The maps were unrolled. The work continued. The forum outside did what forums do. This is the part the Senate did not account for. A well-written law does not need the man who wrote it. It needs people willing to administer it. They had Appius. They had Fulvius. They had Carbo. They also had time. The commission has time because the land is real. The surveys are real. The measurements are in documents. The documents are filed. You can slow down a commission. You can cut its funding. You can challenge its decisions. You can remove the man who created it. You cannot undo the measurements that have already been taken. You cannot unfile the documents. You cannot unassign the land that has already been assigned and built upon. The Senate understood this. They understood it the way you understand something that is bad news. You hold it. You look at it. You accept it. You find the edges. The edges were new assignments. New assignments they could slow. They could make the process expensive. They could make the legal challenges require more money than the commission had. They tried this. Appius Claudius found more money. He found it in the inheritance from Pergamon. He found it in the discretionary funds of allied cities. He found it in places the Senate had not thought to block. The commission continued. BC 132. BC 131. BC 130. The meetings kept happening. The maps kept being unrolled. The surveyors kept going to the fields. The land kept being distributed. This is the work. Not dramatic. Not a speech. Not a confrontation. The work. The work continued. The commission continued. This is the answer to what happened on the hill. Not a political answer. Not a legal answer. Not a moral answer. An administrative answer. The commission had a structure. The structure outlasted the man who built it. The structure continued to function. This is what a good institution is. A good institution does not depend on any one person. It depends on a structure. The structure holds. Tiberius had built something that could hold without him. He had not known he was doing this. He was thinking about the land. He built the structure because he needed one to distribute the land. The structure turned out to be durable. More durable than he was. Gaius thought about this a great deal in Sardinia. When the letters from his mother came with the commission's numbers. When he read the numbers and realized the work was continuing. He thought, I need to build that durable. He thought, Tiberius built one durable thing. I need to build many durable things. He thought, each law needs to be a structure. Not just a text. A structure that continues without me. He filed this. He is in Sardinia. He is building. The commission continued. Chapter 8. Scipio Aemilianus, BC 129. BC 129. Scipio Aemilianus died in his bed. He was 56 years old. He had destroyed Carthage. He had destroyed Numantia. He was the most successful general of his generation. He was Cornelia's son-in-law. He died in his bed. In the morning. He had been healthy. He had been at the Senate the day before. He had spoken against the Land Commission. He had said Tiberius's death was justified. He had said these things at the Senate with his usual precision. He went home. He went to bed. He was found dead in the morning. No one was charged. No one was investigated. The cause was listed as natural. The city did not entirely believe this. The city has opinions about men who speak against the Land Commission and die the next morning. The city's opinions are not evidence. They are what the city thinks. The city thinks what it thinks. Gaius was still in Sardinia when it happened. He read about it in a letter. He wrote back to his mother, "What do you think?" She wrote back, "I think he had enemies." This was all she wrote about it. She is a precise woman. She does not write more than the truth requires. The truth required, he had enemies. The truth did not require, I think his enemies killed him. The truth also did not require, I did not weep. She held these things at the same time without writing them. Gaius wrote back, "Who benefited?" She wrote, "The commission benefited." She wrote, Scipio had been organizing a legal challenge to the commission's jurisdiction. She wrote, with him gone the challenge had no one to anchor it. She wrote, the challenge collapsed. She wrote, the commission continued. Gaius held this letter. He is in Sardinia. He is 24 years old. He is learning what the chain from action to consequence looks like. He is learning it so he will know how to build the chain differently. He puts the letter away. He thinks about what his mother wrote. He thinks about Scipio. He had known Scipio. Not well. He had been at dinners where Scipio was present. He had watched him speak. Scipio was a precise man. He used words carefully. He did not waste movement. He had destroyed Carthage and then Numantia, and then he had come home and destroyed the commission's legal challenge. He had died the next morning. Gaius thinks about this. He is 24 years old. He has been tracking patterns since he was 12. He knows this is a pattern. He does not know yet what the pattern means. He files it. He files it the way he files everything. Carefully. In order. So he can find it. He will come back to it. He goes to work. He works on the grain contracts. This is the immediate work. The practical work. The work that needs to happen today. He has been working on contracts since he arrived in Sardinia the second time. He has a method. He reads the existing contract first. He reads it for what it says. Then he reads it for what it does not say. The gaps are where the problems are. Always. The existing grain contract with the town of Theros had 3 gaps. The first gap, the contract said, grain shall be delivered. It did not specify quality. Low-quality grain was being delivered. Low-quality grain was technically compliant. He closed that gap. He added a specification. He wrote the specification in terms that could not be gamed. Weight per measure. Moisture content. Absence of contamination. Specific and verifiable. The second gap, the contract said within 30 days. 30 days from what date was not specified. The town interpreted this to its advantage. He closed it. The date was the date of the written order. Not the date of delivery. The written order. Documented. Filed. The third gap was more interesting. The third gap was a deliberate ambiguity. Someone had put it there. He could not prove this. He could see it. A man who has been reading contracts for 2 years learns to see deliberate ambiguity. It has a different shape from accidental ambiguity. Accidental ambiguity is formless. Deliberate ambiguity has a direction. He noted the direction. He closed the gap. He filed a note about the direction. He will come back to the direction. He goes to work. He thinks about what he has learned from the contracts. He has spent 2 years on contracts. Not studying them. Writing them. rewriting them, watching what happened when they were poorly written, watching what happened when they were well written. A poorly written contract benefits whoever has more power. A well-written contract benefits whoever has more documentation. This is important. The Senate has more power. Gaius intends to have more documentation. He thinks about the grain law. The grain law is a contract between the state and the people. The state will provide grain at a fixed price. The people will receive it. If this contract is written badly, the Senate can game it. They can redefine grain. They can redefine fixed price. They can create exceptions. He has been writing the grain law for 3 years. He has been writing it the way he learned to write the Sardinian contracts. Specific, documented, verifiable, unambiguous. He has closed every gap he can find. He has asked his mother about the gaps he cannot find. She has found 2. He has closed them. He thinks the law is ready. He thinks, when I am tribune, I will introduce the law in the first month. Not the first week, the first month. In the first week I will be establishing the pace. In the first month I will introduce the law. He thinks about the pace. He is very good at pace now. He was not always. He learned it in Sardinia. The pace of a contract negotiation. The pace of a supply route problem. The pace of a disease moving through 4 cohorts. Each problem has its own pace. You learn to match it. He is going to set the pace of the tribunate. He is going to set it before the Senate understands what pace they need to respond to. He goes to work. He files it. Chapter 9. What Gaius read? He read everything. This is not a figure of speech. He had come back from the first Sardinia posting in 131. He had been in Rome for 2 years. He read. He read the law. Not the land law. All the law. The 12 tables. The Hortensian law. The sumptuary laws. The grain laws. The court procedures. The rules of the assemblies. The rules of the Senate. The precedents. The cases. He built a map. Not a physical map. A map of how the system worked. Where the power was. Where the rules had gaps. Where one law contradicted another. Where the custom ran ahead of the written law. Where the written law ran ahead of the custom. He read history. Polybius had written about Rome. He was a Greek. He had been a hostage in Rome. He had watched the Republic from the outside. His account was the most systematic one available. Gaius read it 3 times. Each time he read something different. The first time, how Rome won wars. The second time, how Rome organized power. The third time, where the organization was failing. He read Thucydides. About Athens. About what happens to a democracy when it stops trusting itself. He read accounts of the Gracchi brothers. Not Tiberius. Earlier. Their grandfather. What the name meant before Tiberius made it mean something else. He read the accounts of the Capitoline. He read them carefully. He read Nausicaa's version and the version that circulated in the Suburra. He read the official Senate record and the personal accounts. He kept notes. He has been keeping notes since he was 12. He keeps them organized. He can find any note he has taken in the past 10 years. He has never lost a note. He read about grain. The grain supply of Rome is the most important single fact about Rome. 200,000 people. Most of them dependent on grain they do not grow. The grain comes from Sicily. From Sardinia. From North Africa. It comes by ship. The ships are private. The price is private. When the price goes up, people in the Suburra go hungry. He read the reports. He read the ship records. He read the price histories. He made calculations. He is very good at calculations. He has been making them since he watched Tiberius count tribes. He thinks in numbers. Numbers do not argue. Numbers arrive at conclusions. He filed his calculations. He will come back to them. When the time is right. He read. He read for 2 years. He stopped when the sequence was clear in his head. Not because he had run out of things to read. Because the sequence was clear. The sequence of laws he was going to pass. In the correct order. So each one made the next one possible. He knew the sequence. He had tested it. He ran it forward. He ran it backward. He ran it through different scenarios. What if the Senate challenged the second law before the first was settled? What if the courts were blocked? What if the funding ran out? What if he had 6 months instead of 12? He ran all the scenarios. He filed the results. He knew which scenarios were most likely. He planned for those. He also planned for the ones that were less likely. He planned for as many as he could see. He is good at seeing scenarios. He has been doing it since he watched Tiberius move without seeing the ones that mattered. He reads one more thing. He reads an account of the Athenian demagogues, the men who had used the assembly against the established power. Some of them had succeeded. Some of them had not. The ones who had not were the ones who had moved too fast, who had trusted the assembly's enthusiasm too much. Enthusiasm does not last. Structure lasts. He files this. He closes the scroll. He goes to the forum. He begins to walk. He walks every morning now. He has been doing this for 2 years. Since he came back from the first Sardinia posting. Every morning. Before anything else. Before the cases. Before the meetings. Before the reading. He walks the forum. He counts the people. He cannot help it. He has been counting since he was 12. He counts the lawyers. He counts the sellers. He counts the men near the Senate House. He counts the men near the tribunician benches. He tracks the changes. Which sellers have been there since he started walking? Which ones are new? Which men he sees every morning? Which men he sees only sometimes? A man who walks a space every morning begins to know it. The way you know a room in your own house. You know where the light comes from. You know the sound it makes. You know who belongs and who is visiting. He belongs now. He was not sure of this for the first year. He is sure now. The forum has accepted him. Not as a figure. As a presence. As the man who walks every morning. He nods to a grain seller he knows by name. The seller nods back. He nods to a lawyer he has opposed twice in minor cases. The lawyer nods back. He passes the tribunician bench. He does not stop. He looks. He will sit there in December. He has been looking at it for 2 years. He continues walking. He thinks about the sequence. He runs it again. The grain law. The court law. The road law. The citizenship question. He has run this sequence 2,000 times. Each time it holds. He finishes the walk. He goes to the first case of the morning. Chapter 10, The First Speech. BC 126. The first public speech. Not the first time he had spoken in the forum. He had spoken in minor proceedings. He had spoken in support of other men. Brief appearances. Technical contributions. This was different. He stood at the rostra. The forum was not full. It was a regular morning. A regular case. A relatively minor charge against a relatively minor official. He spoke for 20 minutes. The forum paid attention. This is the thing about his first real speech. He is not a young man making his first speech. He is a man of 27 who has been in public life for 5 years. Watching and preparing for a decade before that. He does not speak like someone trying out his voice. He speaks like someone who has been waiting to use it. He moves when he speaks. This is unusual. Roman orators stand. They plant their feet. They use their arms. They project. This is the tradition. Gaius moves. He walks a few paces left. He comes back. He walks right. The forum follows him. He learned this watching speakers fail. A man who stands still gives the crowd a fixed point. The fixed point becomes familiar. Familiarity becomes predictable. Predictable becomes something you can ignore. A man who moves makes the crowd track him. Tracking is active. Attention is a muscle. Exercise it. He also speaks faster than expected. Not so fast that words are lost. Fast enough that the crowd has to stay with him. You learn this too. Watching crowds. Counting the moment when eyes go soft. Eyes go soft when the speaker is slower than the listener's capacity to receive. He does not give the eyes time to go soft. The case was decided in his client's favor. He walked home. He thought, that was the first one. He thought, there are things to fix. He has already identified them. The transitions between arguments were too long. He slowed in the middle section. He used a metaphor that did not land. He could see it not landing in the faces in the front row. He filed this. He will fix it next time. There is always a next time. He is planning on many next times. He is 27 years old. He has been in the forum since he was a child. He knows the forum. The forum does not know him yet. That will change. He has a plan. The plan is built on one observation. Tiberius moved faster than the Senate could respond. The Senate caught up. The Senate caught up because Tiberius did one thing and stopped. He passed the land law. He built the commission. He ran for re-election. When he ran for re-election, the Senate had time to move. They had time because Tiberius's one thing was done. He had nothing behind it. No second law. No third. Just the first thing and then the re-election. The re-election gave them the opening. Gaius's plan is different. He is going to pass many laws. Not one. Many. In the correct order. While the Senate is responding to the first, he will be passing the second. While they are responding to the second, he will be passing the third. He will not stop. He will not give them the opening that re-election gave Tiberius. He will have 1 year. 12 months. He has mapped 12 months. He has a law for each month. Some months have 2. He has been counting the months the way he counts exits. Carefully. Knowing which ones are which. He also thinks about what the speech told him. He moves when he speaks. The forum followed him. He had not been certain this would work. He had practiced it. In his room. Walking the length of the room. Speaking to the wall. The wall is not a crowd. But practice builds habit. And habit is what the forum saw. Not practice. Habit. A man who has practiced until practice becomes habit does not look like he practiced. He looks like a man who does it naturally. He is not a natural speaker. He has worked to become one. Natural speakers trust instinct. Worked speakers trust preparation. Preparation is more reliable. He thinks about the transitions. The transitions between arguments were too long. He made a note. He will fix them before the next speech. He thinks about the moment when the metaphor did not land. He had used an image from farming. The men in the front row were not farmers. They were lawyers. Lawyers do not respond to farming images. They respond to legal ones. He will know his audience better next time. He will prepare the right images. He is building this the way he builds everything. From observation. From error. From adjustment. He has a plan. The plan is good. But the plan requires execution. Execution requires practice. Practice requires time. He has had 9 years. He has used them. He stands at the edge of the forum. He thinks, next year. He thinks, I am ready. The forum does not know this yet. It will. He has a plan. Chapter 11, Sardinia, BC 126. He goes back. He does not want to go back. He had spent 2 years in Rome. He had read. He had spoken. He had built the beginning of something. He had a plan. His obligation as questor required another term in the field. He went. He is 27 years old. He is going back to an island that smells of dry grass and the sea. The smell hits him when the ship enters the harbor. Salt. Rope. Hot stone. The particular afternoon smell of Sardinia when the wind has not decided yet. He knows this smell. He does not like it. He goes to work. The situation on the island has not improved. The soldiers are sick. There is a disease moving through the eastern garrisons. Not a killing disease. A miserable disease. It drains the men. It makes them slow. It makes the equipment situation worse because sick men do not maintain equipment. He addresses the disease first. He knows enough about logistics to know this. A sick army is an administrative problem before it is a medical one. You move the sick men. You separate them. You change the supply routes. You get more grain. You get it before the shortage becomes a crisis. He finds grain. He goes to the local towns. He does not speak their language well. He speaks it well enough. He has been learning it since the first posting. He learns languages the way he learns most things. He reads, then he listens, then he tries. The local towns have grain. They have been supplying the garrison improperly. The contracts were written badly. He rewrites them. This is what Sardinia is. A place where the contracts are written badly and someone has to rewrite them. He rewrites them. The soldiers get their grain. The disease slows. The equipment situation improves. He writes reports. He is very good at reports. A report is an argument in a specific form. It has a structure. Evidence. Analysis. Recommendation. He writes them fast and he writes them well. He also writes letters. He writes to his mother. He writes about what he is doing. Not in a general way. Specifically, he tells her about the grain contracts, about the disease, about the soldiers. She writes back. She asks good questions. He answers them. He thinks about Rome while he is in Sardinia. He has been thinking about Rome in two ways. The first way, the specific, the grain law, the courts, the commission, the legal structure, the gaps, the fixes. The second way, the general, what kind of place Rome is, what kind of place it could be, the distance between the two. He sits on the harbor wall in the evening and thinks about this distance. The sun goes down. The sea goes dark. Sardinia at night smells of salt and fires from the town. He thinks, I know what needs to change. He thinks, I know how to change it. He thinks, I need the right moment. He thinks, the moment will come. He waits. He is good at waiting. He has been practicing it since he was 12. Waiting in Sardinia is not comfortable waiting. It is waiting with a task attached. He is not waiting passively. He is waiting and working. He is waiting and learning. He is waiting and building the structure he will need. He thinks about the grain law. He has been thinking about the grain law for 2 years. He has the structure of it in his head. The price, the distribution system, the granaries, the supply routes, the cost to the treasury, the effect on the people in the Subura. The grain law will do more for the people in the Subura than the land law did. The land law helped people who could use land. Most of the people in the Subura cannot use land. They are in the city. They will stay in the city. They need grain at a price they can afford. He has calculated the price. He knows what price is sustainable. He knows what the treasury can support. He knows the shipping routes. He knows the seasonal variation. He sits on the harbor wall in Sardinia and thinks about grain prices in Rome. This is what Sardinia is for. Not the assignment. The thinking time. The time to work out the details. The time to run the numbers. The time to find the gaps in the plan. He finds 2 gaps. He closes one. The other requires a different law. He adds the different law to the sequence. He adjusts the order. The new order is better. He files it. He waits. He is good at waiting. He has been practicing it since he was 12. He sits on the harbor wall. The sun goes down. The harbor of Sardinia in October. Cold now. The fishing boats are in. The merchant ships are anchored in the outer harbor. They will leave in the morning. He watches the ships. He thinks about shipping. He has been thinking about shipping for months. Grain from Sicily to Rome. From Sardinia. From North Africa. The ships are private. The routes are private. The prices are private. The price of grain in Rome is the price on a private ship that charged what the market allowed. He thinks, the market in grain is not a market. It is a monopoly in seasonal sections. When the northern supply routes close in winter, the southern routes set the price. They set the price based on what Rome will pay. Rome will pay anything. 200,000 people. They will pay anything. He thinks, a state-subsidized grain supply changes this. He thinks about how a state-subsidized supply would work. The state buys grain. It sets a price. The price is below the market. The people can afford it. The people who could not afford to eat now can. He runs the numbers. He has run them 50 times. They work. The cost to the treasury is significant but manageable. The political benefit is significant and immediate. He files the numbers. He thinks, the grain law is the right first law. He thinks, the grain law is what the forum will remember first. The grain law is what the people in the Subura will remember every day. Every time they buy grain. He thinks, that is the structure. Not a speech. A structure they interact with every day. Every day it reminds them. He files this. He waits. He is good at waiting. He has been practicing it since he was 12. Chapter 12, The Summons. BC 126. While he was in Sardinia, the censors summoned him to Rome. The reason given was, he had left Sardinia without permission. This was not accurate. He had left Sardinia with the governor's permission to attend to personal matters. He had been in Rome for several weeks. He had returned to Sardinia. The censors said he had been absent without leave. The censors were wrong. Gaius knew the censors were wrong. He also knew why they were summoning him. The summons was not about the absence. The summons was about his family name. About the land commission. About the fact that Gaius Gracchus had spent 2 years in Rome. Reading law. Speaking in public. Building something. The summons was an attempt to interrupt the building. He came to Rome. He appeared before the censors. He stated his case. He stated it clearly. He had the governor's written permission. He had the dates. He had the documents. The censors had no case. They had the summons. They had the appearance of authority. They did not have the facts. He presented the facts. He was calm when he presented them. He has been practicing calm in circumstances where calm is the most powerful available response. A man who is angry in front of censors is a man who has lost before he has finished. A man who is calm in front of censors is a man who trusts his case. He trusted his case. The censors backed down. Not immediately. Not gracefully. They found another issue. He addressed it. They found a third issue. He addressed it. After the third issue they had nothing left. He walked out. He had won. Not a dramatic victory. Not a public one. A procedural one. He has been thinking about procedural victories. They are less satisfying than dramatic ones. They are more durable. A man who beats you in the open has beaten you once. A man who beats you on procedure has established that you cannot beat him on procedure. The Senate understands procedure. He needs them to understand that he understands it better. He returned to Sardinia. He finished his posting. He came back to Rome. He was ready. He had been ready for some time. The censors' summons had been a test. Not intentionally. The censors had not intended to test him. They had intended to slow him down. To make him spend political capital. To make him defend himself before he had a base to defend from. He had turned it into a demonstration. He had appeared before the censors with documents. He had presented the case. He had been calm. He had won. Winning calmly in front of censors is a specific kind of signal. It says, I know how this works. It says, you cannot rattle me on procedure. It says, I have done the reading. The Senate received this signal. They filed it. He filed their filing. He is good at tracking what the Senate knows about him. He has been tracking it since 133. What the Senate knows? Gracchus. Land law. Brother was killed on the hill. What the Senate suspects? He is here for some form of continuation or revenge. What the Senate does not know? The sequence. The order. The plan. He has been careful about the plan. He has told his mother. He has told Fulvius Flaccus. He has told no one else. Not because he is afraid of the Senate knowing. Because knowing would let them prepare. He does not want them to prepare. He wants them to be responding. A Senate that is responding is behind. A Senate that is behind cannot set the agenda. He intends to set the agenda. He thinks about the censors. They had tried to slow him. They had failed. They will try again. Different tactic. Different angle. He does not know which yet. He has been tracking their tactics for 9 years. He knows their general approach. The general approach is, make the man defend himself. A man defending himself is not advancing. A man defending himself is responding. A man who is responding is behind. He intends to be the one advancing. He is going to advance from the first day of the tribunate. He will not give them time to set the defense. He will be moving. He thinks about this while he prepares the return crossing. He arranges passage from Sardinia to Ostia. 3 days. He prepares his papers. He reviews the summary reports he has written over 2 years. He packs what he needs. He leaves the rest. He does not need to carry evidence of the work he has done in Sardinia. He carries it in his head. The contracts, the grain routes, the specific understanding of how supply chains actually work in practice. Not in theory. In practice. He has been learning practice for 9 years. The theory was always available. Practice requires being present. He was present. He came back to Rome. He was ready. Chapter 13. His brother's shadow. Rome had a story about Gaius. The story was, he is his brother's replacement. The story was, he has his brother's anger. The story was, he will do what his brother did but worse. The story was, he is dangerous. The Senate told this story. The Senate needed this story. The story serves a purpose. If Gaius is Tiberius, then stopping Gaius is finishing what the hill started. If Gaius is Tiberius, then the men who went up the hill were right. If Gaius is Tiberius, then everything that happened in 133 was necessary. The problem with the story is that Gaius is not Tiberius. Tiberius was certain. He moved in one direction. He believed the land law was right. He passed it. He did not stop to ask who was watching, or how this looked to men who would still be in the Senate after he was gone. He did not ask because he had certainty. Certainty does not ask. Gaius asks. He has spent 9 years asking. Who is watching? How does this look? What is the next step after this step? And the step after that? He is not angry. Or rather, he is very angry, and he has placed the anger somewhere it cannot be seen. He has put it in the work. He feeds it to the work. The work consumes it and produces something else. Strategy. Patience. Precision. The Senate prefers the story. The story says he will make the same mistakes. He will be emotional. He will move too fast. He will give us the opportunity we need. He knows the story. He has been watching the Senate tell it for 9 years. He is not going to make it easy for them. He is not going to be Tiberius. He is going to be something the Senate does not have a story for yet. This is the plan. Not revenge. Not continuation. Something new. The Forum does not know this yet. The Senate does not know this yet. He has spent 9 years being patient while they told the story. He has watched the story spread. He has watched it reach the Subura. He has watched the Subura receive it with the particular skepticism of people who understand what necessary means. Necessary for whom? Necessary for what? He has watched the men who told the story become comfortable with it. Comfortable stories become assumptions. Assumptions stop being examined. He wants them to stop examining. He wants them to be comfortable with their assumptions about him. Assumptions make you slow. He is not comfortable. He has never been comfortable. He has been patient. These are not the same thing. Patience is active. Patience is watching and tracking and adjusting and waiting for the right moment. The right moment is almost here. He has been watching the Senate for 9 years. He knows when they are paying attention and when they are not. He knows which men are watching him and which have dismissed him. The ones who have dismissed him are the dangerous ones. A man who dismisses you has decided you are not a threat. Decided is harder to change than uncertain. He is going to change it fast. Before the dismissed becomes engaged. Before they have time to organize. He is going to move at the right speed. Not Tiberius's speed. His own speed. He is ready to show them. He is ready to show them something they do not have a story for yet. He thinks about what the new story will be. He has been thinking about this. A story about a man who is not Tiberius. A story about a man who passes more laws than they can stop one by one. A story about an assembly that is more powerful than the Senate expected. This is not a story about revenge. This is a story about structure. He has been reading about the Athenian reforms of Solon. Solon went to Athens and changed the laws. He changed them all at once. Before the opponents could organize, he gave them time to absorb. Then he left Athens. He left because if he stayed, the disputes would be about him. He wanted them to be about the laws. The laws outlasted the disputes. He is not planning to leave Rome. He is planning to stay. He is planning to make the laws so numerous and interconnected. Challenging any one of them requires challenging all of them. They cannot challenge all of them. Not all at once. Not with the assembly watching. This is the story he is going to write. Not the story Rome has about him. His story. The Forum does not know it yet. The Senate does not know it yet. He is ready to begin. He thinks about the men the Senate chose to manage the story. Drusus. In 122, when Gaius was at the height of his first term, the Senate chose Drusus to counter him. He has already thought about this. He knows they will do it. Drusus will offer more than Gaius. More colonies. More land assignments. More benefits for the Italian allies. But without the structural changes. Without the courts. Without the grain law's permanent price. The Senate story requires a counteroffer. Drusus will be the counteroffer. He files this. He thinks, the counteroffer only works if people cannot see the difference. He thinks, my job is to make the difference visible. The difference is, Gaius builds structures. Drusus offers things. Things can be taken back. Structures cannot. He needs the assembly to understand this. Not in abstract terms. In specific ones. He needs them to understand the grain law gives you a price. The price is law. The law continues. Drusus's offer gives you a feeling. The feeling ends when Drusus's term ends. He needs to make this clear. Before Drusus makes his offer. Before the story can be told about equivalence. He files the timing. He has a plan. He is ready to show them something they do not have a story for yet. He is ready to begin. Chapter 14. Cornelia's instructions. She had been writing to him for 9 years. Not advice. Instructions are not advice. Instructions are specific. She wrote him about specific things. She wrote about the grain supply and why it mattered. She wrote about the court system and its gaps. She wrote about the commission and its continuing work. She wrote about the men in the Senate who had been at the session in the temple. The ones who went up the hill. The ones who stayed behind. The ones who came back afterward and said they had reservations. She told him which ones. She is a woman who has been watching men in politics for 50 years. She has had them at her table. She has read what they wrote and listened to what they said. She has watched what they did when the two did not match. She knows the difference between a man who has reservations and a man who acts on them. She knows the difference between a man who believes something and a man who says he believes it. She wrote Gaius about the differences. She wrote, the grain law matters more than the land law. She wrote, the land law helps the people who came from outside the city. She wrote, the grain law helps the people inside the city. She wrote, the city has more votes than outside the city. She wrote, do not write this down in any document that will be read by others. She also wrote about what not to do. She wrote, do not use Tiberius as your argument. She wrote, Tiberius is your brother and I loved him and his death was wrong. She wrote, he is also a man who gave the Senate an argument they have been using for 9 years. She wrote, find your own argument. She wrote, do not move until you have the sequence right. She wrote, the sequence matters more than the speed. She wrote, you can do everything right in the wrong order and it will still fail. She wrote, write the laws in the order that makes each one possible. She did not write, I am afraid for you. She did not write this. She thought it. She holds it. She has been holding it since 133. She writes instead, I trust your judgment. She writes, I know what you are doing. She writes, I know how long you have been doing it. She writes, do it correctly. She seals the letters. She sends them to Sardinia, to Rome, to wherever he is. He reads them standing up. She knows this. She has always known this. She goes to her desk. She begins the next one. She has written to Gaius about most things. About the grain law. About the courts. About the roads. About the citizenship question and why it is complicated. About the men he will face. About the men he can trust. She has been careful about the trust list. Trust is the most important information in Roman politics. Not who supports you publicly. Not who votes for you. Who is actually reliable when the Senate applies pressure. Most men change under pressure. This is not a moral failure. This is a fact about pressure. She has been watching men change under pressure for 50 years. She knows which ones will hold. She knows which ones will bend. She has been writing Gaius the names. Both lists. She also writes about her own health. She does not complain. She notes. She is 60 years old. She has been traveling between Rome and Misenum. She is not always well. She notes this. She asks him to note it. She writes, I will be available for questions until I am not. She writes, use me while you can. She writes, ask me everything you want to ask. He does. He asks her things in letters that he does not ask anyone else. Not because he trusts her more. Because she knows more. 50 years of watching. The specific knowledge of a woman who was at every dinner and most people forgot she was listening. She was always listening. She writes the next letter. She is good at this. She is very good at this. She has been doing it for 50 years. She writes. She writes the letter. She seals it. She sets it on the desk. The courier will come in the morning. She sits. She is 60 years old. She has been in Roman public life for 50 of those years. Not visibly. She was never the visible one. She was the woman at the dinner table. The mother in the correspondence. The name that appeared in men's letters as, "I have spoken with Cornelia." She was always there. She was rarely seen. She thinks about this. She thinks, the men I influenced thought they were doing their own thinking. She is not saying this with pride. She is saying it with clarity. She had opinions. She shared them. She shared them in ways that allowed the men she shared them with to think the conclusions were their own. This is not manipulation. This is how you survive in a system that does not give you a formal voice. You use the informal ones. She has been using informal voices for 50 years. She thinks, Gaius has a formal voice now. She thinks, I can stop being informal. She thinks, I can write what I actually think. She picks up the stylus. She writes a second letter. This one is not instructions. This one is what she actually thinks. About the grain law. About the court law. About the citizenship question. About the sequence. She has opinions about all of them. Not cautious opinions. Direct ones. She writes, the citizenship question is more important than you think. She writes, you are going to hold it back because it is explosive. She writes, I understand why. She writes, you are also going to underestimate how explosive it is when you eventually introduce it. She writes, plan for a larger explosion than you are currently planning for. She seals the second letter. She has been writing to him for 50 years. She writes, Chapter 15, What he inherited. He inherited a law. The land law was still working. 9 years after Tiberius wrote it. Still being administered. Still assigning land. Still being challenged. Still being decided. He inherited a precedent. Tiberius had shown that the assembly could remove a tribune. He had also shown that a popular tribune could pass laws the Senate opposed. He had shown what the assembly could do when it believed in what it was doing. Both of these things were true. Both were available. He inherited a list of enemies. The men who went up the hill. The men who sent Nausicaa to Pergamon and called it a commission. The men who reduced the commission's budget. The men who filed the legal challenges. The men who had been filing them for 9 years. He knows all of their names. He has had 9 years to learn them. He also inherited a list of allies. Fulvius Flaccus. Papirius Carbo. The men who had kept the commission going. The men who had worked in the forum while he was in Sardinia. And he inherited something he did not expect. Sympathy. Not from the Senate. From Rome. The city had watched what happened to Tiberius. It had watched the commission work. It had watched Nausicaa go to Pergamon. It had watched the Senate manage the story of what happened. The city had its own story. The city's story was, the Senate killed a tribune and threw him in the river. Then they said it was necessary. The city held this. Not with anger. With the particular patience of a large number of people. Who have been told something is necessary when they believed it was not. That patience is not grief. It is potential. Gaius had been watching it accumulate for 9 years. He also inherited a name. Gracchus. In 133 the name had meant, the man who tried. It had also meant, the man who was killed on the hill. Now it meant something else. It meant, we know you are coming. The Senate knew he was coming. The city knew he was coming. He knew they both knew. He is not going to surprise anyone. He is going to be right when he arrives. That is the inheritance. Being right when you arrive. He had been preparing to be right for 9 years. He thinks about what right means. Not morally. He knows what it means morally. He has known since he was 12 what the land law was about. He has known what the grain law will be about. He has known the arguments. He means right in the structural sense. Correct in procedure. Correct in sequence. Correct in the selection of the right tool for the right moment. This kind of correctness is not obvious. It requires preparation. It requires watching what worked and what did not work. It requires being honest about the failures. He is honest about the failures. He has thought about what Tiberius did wrong. He has not done this to condemn his brother. He has done it to learn. Tiberius had the right law. He had the wrong sequence. He had one law. He had nothing behind it. When the second term became necessary, it was only the second term. It had no scaffolding. No other laws to hold it up. No sequence to make it logical. The Senate had the opening. The opening was re-election with nothing behind it. Gaius has built the scaffolding. The grain law is first. The grain law gives the subura. The subura gives him the urban vote. The urban vote gives him the assembly. The court law is second. The court law transfers criminal jurisdiction from the Senate to a mixed court. The mixed court makes senators afraid of accountability. Afraid senators negotiate. The road law is third. Roads create jobs. Jobs create political loyalty in the districts. Loyalty in the districts gives him votes outside the city. The citizenship proposal is last. Not because it is least important. Because it is most explosive. He is saving the explosive one for when his position is strong enough to absorb the explosion. This is the sequence. He has the sequence. He had been preparing the sequence for 3 years. He also inherited the name. Gracchus. The name means the work that was not finished. The name means the hill. The name means 300 men in the Tiber. The name means 9 years of a land commission that kept working. He carries the name. He is going to change what it means. He thinks about what changing it means. Not for the name. For the work. The name Gracchus currently means the land commission, the hill, the body in the river, the 9 years of continued work. He is going to add to this. He is going to add the grain law. He is going to add the courts. He is going to add the roads. He is going to add things that continue without him. He thinks the name needs to be attached to structures, not to a person. If it is attached to a person, killing the person ends the name. If it is attached to structures, the structures carry it. He has been thinking about this. He thinks about his mother. She has been a structure for 50 years. She has been the woman at the dinner table. The name that appears in letters. The informal voice that outlasted the formal ones. She is still there. Her husband is dead. Tiberius is dead. She is still there. She is a structure. He thinks, I need to build structures. Not laws. Structures. Laws are the form. Structures are the function. The form can be repealed. The function is harder to undo when it has been absorbed. He thinks about the grain supply. Once Rome has a subsidized grain supply, the people of Rome will come to depend on it. They will vote for men who maintain it. They will oppose men who remove it. The supply becomes self-defending. This is the structure. He thinks, every law needs a structure behind it. Constituency. A group of people whose daily life depends on the law existing. He had been preparing to be right for 9 years. He had been preparing to build things that outlast him. Chapter 16, the year before. BC 124. He is 29 years old. He has been back in Rome for 2 years. The second Sardinia posting ended. He came home. He has been working. This is the year before. He knows it is the year before. He has known for several months. The election is in December. He is running for tribune. This is not a surprise to anyone. It is not a surprise to the Senate. It is not a surprise to the Forum. It is not a surprise to Cornelia. She has known he would run since 133. She has known since he sat at Tiberius's desk and opened the scroll. He has been preparing for this year for 9 years. This is what the year before looks like. He finishes the sequence of laws. He has been working on the sequence for 3 years. The order matters. His mother told him, the order matters. She was right. She is usually right. He writes them in the correct order. So each one makes the next one possible. So the network of them holds together. So removing one does not collapse the others. He runs the sequence in his head. He runs it forward. He runs it backward. He runs it in different orders to see if a different order works better. It does not. The order he has is the right order. He counts allies. Not in the abstract. Specifically. By name. By tribe. By connection. By what they want. By what he can give them. By what they will do when the Senate pushes back. He knows which ones will hold. He knows which ones will not. He plans for both. He walks the forum. He does this every morning. He has been doing it since he came back from Sardinia. Not to speak. Just to walk. To be present. To be seen. This is deliberate. A man who is present in the forum every morning becomes part of the forum's routine. He becomes familiar. Not famous. Familiar. Famous is fragile. Familiar is durable. He wants to be durable. He walks. He nods to the sellers. He stops to listen to two men arguing about a water rights case. He knows the outcome before they finish. He does not say so. He walks. He thinks, one more year. He thinks, everything is in the right order. He thinks, when it is time I will be ready. He walks home. He sits at the desk. He has been sitting at Tiberius's desk since he came back from the first Sardinia posting. He does not think of it as Tiberius's desk anymore. He thinks of it as the desk. He opens the document he has been working on, the sequence of laws. He reads it. He has read it many times. Each time he reads it he finds something to adjust. Not a mistake, an optimization. A way to make one law more clearly require the next. A way to close a gap the Senate might use. He adjusts. He works for 2 hours. He closes the document. He puts it in the drawer. He thinks, 30 days until December. He thinks, December until the election. He thinks, the election until the first month of the tribunate. He has been counting this sequence since he was 22. He is 31 now. He has been counting for 9 years. He is almost at the end of the count. He closes his eyes. He does not sleep. He just closes them. He sits at the desk in the dark. He thinks, everything is ready. He opens his eyes. He goes to bed. He will walk the forum again tomorrow. He will walk it every morning until December. He will walk it every morning of the tribunate. He will be present. He will be ready. He thinks about what the tribunate will actually feel like. He does not know. He can plan for it. He can prepare for it. He cannot know what the actual day feels like until he is in it. He has accepted this. Planning is not the same as experiencing. He has been in Sardinia twice. He had planned both postings. He had not been able to plan that specific morning. He had not been able to plan what the letter felt like. He had experienced it anyway. He thinks, the tribunate will have moments I cannot plan for. He thinks, I need to be ready to respond to those moments. Being ready to respond is different from having a plan. A plan tells you what to do. Being ready tells you how to think when the plan fails. He has been building both. He thinks about what his mother said about Tiberius. She had said, Tiberius always had the right answer. He was just sometimes answering the wrong question. He had thought about this. He thinks, I need to make sure I am answering the right question. The right question is not, how do I pass this law? The right question is, what does Rome need? And how do I build something that provides it after I am gone? He has been asking the right question for 9 years. He thinks, I know what Rome needs. He thinks, I know how to build it. He thinks, I am 31 years old and I have been preparing for this for 9 years. He thinks, I will not get another 9 years. He goes to bed. He will walk the forum again tomorrow. He will walk it every morning until December. He will walk it every morning of the tribunate. He will be present. He will be ready. He walks home. Chapter 17. The Capitoline Again. He walks to the Capitoline. He does this alone. No one knows he is here. He told no one he was coming. It is the afternoon. The light at this hour does something to the hill. The shadows are long. The stone holds the last warmth. He has been here before. Many times. Since 133. He came the first time 3 weeks after. He was 22. He stood at the top and looked at the hill and did not stay long. He has come back since. He has come in different seasons. In different lights. He has walked the path his brother walked. He has stood where his brother stood. He is not looking for something. He does not believe in ghosts. He is counting. He always counts. He has been counting since he was 12. He counts the exits. He counts the paths. He counts the angles of approach. He counts because counting gives him information. Information gives him options. Options are what the top of this hill took from his brother. His brother had counted 3 exits. His brother had found all 3 blocked. He is counting to understand how that happened. He stands at the top. The hill is quiet. Not empty. There are people. A few men near the temple. A woman with a child. A vendor of some kind near the path. But quiet. October afternoon on the Capitoline. The same light his brother saw. The same stone. The same city below. He looks at the city. He thinks about what he is going to do to it. Not destroy it. Fix it. He thinks about the grain law. The courts. The roads. The citizenship question. The commission. He has been thinking about these things for 9 years. They are arranged in his head in the correct order. He will begin in December. He will have 1 year. He needs to make the 1 year sufficient. He thinks about what sufficient means. He thinks, Tiberius had one law and it was enough to get him killed. He thinks, I need to have enough laws that killing me does not end the work. He thinks, I need to build structures. Not arguments. Structures. Things that continue after me. He is standing on the hill where his brother died. He does not avoid this thought. He holds it. He thinks, I may also die on a hill. He thinks, the work needs to be durable enough to survive that. He thinks about the grain law again. Once it is passed, the grain price is set. Changing it requires a law. Passing a new law requires the assembly. The assembly controls the law. If the assembly controls the grain price, the Senate cannot change it without the assembly. This is the durable thing. Not Gaius Gracchus. The assembly controlling the grain. He thinks, all of the laws need to work this way. Transfer power to a structure that the Senate cannot easily undo. Make the Senate go through the assembly to reverse anything. Make the assembly necessary. He has been thinking about this for 2 years. He thinks, when they kill me, the structures will still be there. He thinks this calmly. He is not afraid of being killed. He is afraid of the work not being finished. These are different fears. He holds them. He looks at the city. The light is going. He turns. He goes down the hill. He goes home. He has work to do tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after that. He has always had work to do. He will always have work to do. This is not a burden. This is the point. Writer's note. I do not read Gaius as revenge. I watch him walk the Capitoline alone. He counts the exits. He is 29 years old. He has been counting this hill since he was 22. He is not here for his brother. He is here because there is work. The grain law is real. The courts are broken. The roads need building. The city is a city of 200,000 people who cannot all be fed reliably. He knows all of this. He has known it for 9 years. He stands at the top of the hill and thinks about the city. He has been at this height before. Many times. Each time he has looked at the same city. The same forum below. The same Tiber. The same hills. Each time it has looked different. At 22 it looked like the place where Tiberius died. At 25 it looked like a problem he was learning to solve. At 28 it looked like a system with specific gaps he had identified. Now it looks like work. Not the city as a problem. The city as work. Specific. Manageable. One law at a time. One structure at a time. In the correct order. He has been preparing for this view for 9 years. He thinks about what Tiberius saw from this hill. He does not know. He was not here. He was 22 when it happened. He was in Sardinia. He has imagined it many times. He thinks, Tiberius saw the same forum. He thinks, Tiberius saw the same people. He thinks, Tiberius wanted the same things. He thinks, Tiberius had one law in 1 year and he moved too fast. He thinks, I have many laws in 1 year and I will move at the right speed. He presses his thumb joint. He has been doing this since he was a boy. He learned it watching Tiberius. He does not always know when he is doing it. He looks at the city. He thinks, 1 more year. He turns. He goes down the hill. He is not his brother. He is himself. That distinction will not save him. But it is true. Next time, Rome. BC 123. A tribune at the top of his voice.